They are a very simple milk-based popsicle where our only ingredients are milk, fruit, and sweetener to taste. I've been waving this peach around. Obviously, yes, I'm going to be using peaches today. These are my popsicle makers. I got them at Target. They're Jelly Belly brand. It doesn't really matter what brand they are, but what I like about these is they're a pretty good size. And they have these nice little sticks that when you stick them in, if you can't see this very well, but anyway, there's like a little reservoir in here that as you're eating the popsicle, your wet popsicle that melts drips down into there so it doesn't spill on your hand, and then you can drink it out of this little lip thing. Anyway, it's important before you make the popsicles, if you don't want to have any wasted popsicle juice, that you measure your popsicle makers in advance just to find out how much liquid fits in there. And this set of 4 fits about 1.5 cups of liquid total. So the idea is we want about 1 part milk, 1 part fruit, and then maybe a little bit of sweetener. So each part should be about half of 1.5 cups, which is what, kids? That's right!
Somebody wants to be on camera.
I think that these two together are about 3/4 of a cup. Just going to take a leap of faith, cut them roughly in chunks, stick them in a blender, and then as stated previously, you need about 3/4 of a cup of milk. These peaches are very ripe, very in season, and very delicious, so I really don't think this needs any sweetener, but if you like your popsicles a little on the sweeter side, go ahead and add honey, maple syrup, sugar, Splenda if you're crazy. What I am going to do, this is a little trick for people who don't want to add extra sugar into their food. Add a little vanilla extract. It actually makes it taste a little sweeter. And puree. I think you guys know how to use a blender. You didn't have to see me do that. This is our popsicle juice. I'm going to pour it into each individual thing, just like you're making ice, like you're making gigantic ice cubes. And it's actually okay if you have a little bit of extra popsicle juice left over. You can just drink it. And you just put the little popsicle tops on. Stick it in the freezer. That easy. Here's another fun variety you can make. Take some good old Nutella. We will once again be utilizing these Jelly Belly popsicle makers. So again, this is about 1.5 cups of liquid. So I'm going to measure out about 1 cup to 1.25 cups of milk. Get out your good old friend Nutella and just scoop some of it in there. This is a pretty old jar, so I have to use it up pretty soon. So I'm just going to take this gigantic dolloping spoonful. Puree. Incidentally, this is a great way to just make chocolate milk. Cover them up. Now, I mentioned earlier this is good if you have kids because it's a lot cheaper than buying popsicles, and it's more fun, and you can be more creative with flavors, and you can do this with your kids. This is also nice if you're on a diet because each one of these popsicles has 1/4 of 1.5 cups of milk in it. 1.5 cups of milk, depending on what fat level you get, is around maybe 150 calories. So 1/4 of that is less than 50 calories of milk per pop. And if you combine it with just fruit and no sugar, that means each popsicle is 50 calories or less. The Nutella ones are a little more caloric, but I mean, that's a really low-cal snack. And last but not least, we are going to be making popsicles that are not milk-based. Watermelon. Is this my first time using watermelon on this show? I've made too many episodes, I don't even know. Anyway, this is a watermelon, in case you've never seen one before. I usually like to start by splitting it in half. It's nice that nowadays you have so many different size options. Back in the day, you could only get like really big oblong kind. The color is a bit weak, but this is a really tasty watermelon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare some of this to be juiced. Now there's so many different schools of thought on how you're supposed to take the flesh out of a watermelon. I don't really care. Just get it out of there. Take this over to your juicer. Have a measuring glass handy to catch your juice. Now you'll notice freshly made juice tends to separate pretty quickly, so give it a good stir before you pour it. In the freezer. And behold their cool popsicle-y goodness.